Hey, welcome back to the KB Money Show. It's your boy KB with episode 6. As you can tell, I'm solo dolo today. My co-host, he's in the middle of packing and planning. They're getting ready to go to Mauritius for a month. So must be nice. And so sure he'll be back next week. Keanu will be back next week. Hey, but guess what? The show must go on. Got to keep you guys up to date, abreast of what's going on, and so that's what we're gonna do. And I have a show, a full show for you today. Super excited to get into some of the topics and just I'm gonna add my comments. I'm gonna react, do what we do, and hopefully this brings you up to speed because I know when you're working your 9 to 5, doing your thing, you don't have time to stay up to date with some of these things, and so that's why I'm here. And it always ties back to the money. That's my goal. So that's what we're gonna do here. Without further ado, my week was great. I'm cool in a great place, getting ready to go on vacation myself. But guess what? We still gonna record these shows, and we still gonna bring the information to the people. So if you this is your first time tuning in, look forward to you staying with us and learning with us and growing with us. We're building a awesome community here of like-minded individuals that you care about your money, and ultimately we want to help you become the best version of yourself and build your net worth $1 at a time. Okay, so the first topic of today is what we're gonna do is I'm gonna do a quick screen share, and we're gonna cover these Walmart layoffs, man. We're gonna talk about it. So Walmart to cut jobs at headquarters and relocate others. So what does that mean? Well, on Tuesday, uh, Walmart announced that it plans to cut hundreds of jobs at its corporate headquarters and relocate a majority of U.S. and Canada-based remote workforce to 3 offices. A shift in strategy after initially endorsing virtual work during the pandemic. Ooh, that's tough. Sounds like Walmart is reneging on their word. They say, "Oh, you're gonna get in this office today." Y'all looking, I don't have any those reaction sounds or anything, because I would definitely be pushing them buttons. So that's gonna come soon. Just not right now, but I'll be pressing those buttons right now because they say, "Oh no, we changing strategy. Y'all about to get in this office today." Dang, that's tough. You been working remote in a low cost area, or just wherever you want to be, and they say, "Hey, not no more. It's a new day, new strategy." All right. So what they tell us? What they tell you? Let's learn about it. We are asking the majority of associates working remotely and the majority of associates within our offices in Dallas, Atlanta, and our Toronto Global Tech office to relocate. Donna Morris, the Walmart's chief people officer, wrote in a memo. Okay. Okay, Don. The world's largest retailer and the country's largest private employer, that's a fact. We knew that already. With 2.1 million workers, or if you didn't know, now you know, as they say, workers globally, say most of the relocations will be to its headquarters in Bentonville, Arkansas. Sheesh. While some will move to its offices in the San Francisco Bay Area or Hoboken, New Jersey. Interesting. The goal of the move, well, before I go there, so when I'm thinking about those different locations, if I'm a Walmart employee, first thing I'm thinking about, I'm pulling out that cost of living calculator and the way my salary is set up and the way the cost of living is set up. Let me evaluate if that makes sense. Because if you're going to San Fran and your comp, it don't make sense for your comp, man, that cost of living you're gonna get crushed with that cost of living, and you're gonna be check to check unless you get your money up. All right, so that's okay. All right, so let's continue on with the story. Add my commentary here. All right, so the goal of the move was to bring more people together to strengthen Walmart's culture and develop the careers of its employees, Morris said in a memo. All right, I hear you. The retail giant also said it was reducing several hundred roles in its headquarters due to changes in some parts of its business. Without elaborating further, like, hey, we don't owe you no more detail than that. You're gonna have to wait for the earnings. You're gonna have to wait for earnings to come out. On a business update call with employees on Monday, remote workers were given until July 1st. Well, okay. Well, I mean, July 1st, it's May. All right, got a little bit of time to make a decision about relocating or to quit with severance, according to a source familiar with the matter who spoke on condition of anonymity. They like, I ain't about to mess up my job. Smart, smart. The source added that Walmart will be closing its Dallas, Atlanta, Toronto offices later this year. All right. Business change, it happens. All right, so let's talk about what that severance pay is going to look like. So those who choose to leave would receive 2 weeks pay for every year they worked at Walmart as severance. Who knew loyalty would have came into play in this scenario? Because these days, folks not loyal. But hey, but I'll be honest, sometimes the company ain't loyal to you. So hey, you got to do what's best for you. But in this case, they say you're going to get 2 weeks for every year that you work. Okay, interesting. All right. Walmart said it had discussions with employees who were directly affected and that it would work with them on the next steps forward. New normal, we're going to see. Like other U.S. companies, they talking about remote work. Walmart is shifting its strategy towards more in-person work after years of pandemic-induced remote working. At one point, it even endorsed remote work as a new norm. Yes, it did. And it was a crazy war on talent during that time period too, where they had to be competitive with the remote options that were out there. But definitely seeing that shift for sure. It's hey, you today, you'll see job postings and it's like you can be remote, but must be local. But then that ain't remote. Or so it's almost like catch like is they clickbaiting, and then there's and if you continue, if you read somewhere in that job description, you're starting to see more and more where it's like, oh, y'all not remote at all. Okay, I see. I happen to have a balanced approach, but in terms of thoughts, but I see the benefit of both. In the meantime, Walmart is constructing a new headquarters in Northwest Arkansas. They're trying to get people back in that office because they about to create a 350-acre campus with 15,000, with the capacity to hold 15,000 employees across 12 buildings. And so that's what they're trying to get folks in that office for that 15,000 uh, employee campus that they're getting ready to, with a capacity to hold 15,000. That's what they got going on. This is likely just part of a broader push towards operational efficiency. When you hear those words, you should perk up when you're hearing those things. Layoffs, operational efficiencies, restructuring, all these little terms that they use. Yeah, they getting rid of you, the redundancy. The mandate that remote workers report into the office is the closest way to get people to quit instead of doing a layoff. That's true. Chief economist at Annex Wealth Management, which holds Walmart and mutual funds and ETFs as it manages. Okay. Giving people a choice to relocate to a hub isn't much of a choice. No, it's not. Not if you have roots in a certain area. Then you're just gonna move to middle of nowhere, Arkansas. Sheesh. It's more of a choice of whether to quit or not. The retailer is set to report first quarter. Now we getting somewhere. Results on Thursday. Okay, Walmart shares were down 1% in afternoon trading on Tuesday. Okay, yeah, it's always the most always it always ties back to the money. But that's the updates as it relates to the Walmart layoff. They said, hey, you have to July 1st to get in that office or find another job. My recommendation would be if you're presented that and you're not going to move, you need to be looking for a new job ASAP, like immediately. So by the time the severance happens, it could be a potential smooth transition. It's never fun draining that emergency fund or seeing your resources drain just because of being unemployed for extended period of time, hey, unemployment don't pay the bills. You only get a portion of your income. So anytime that you can turn a severance into a bonus because you don't have a skip in income, it's always a good thing. And then of course, multiple streams of income, exploring that route as well. Because like last week, the employee that from Google that strategically would have financial independence on his mind the entire time. So when he got laid off from Google, he was ready. And so, unfortunately, if you're working long enough, sometimes you may be a part of the layoffs or the restructurings, or you're faced with having to make these type of decisions, and so hey, see if you can turn what looks like lemons into lemonade, you know what I'm saying, by getting landed at another position. Sorry it's happening to the folks out there. But hey, it all comes down to the money. You see they got earnings coming up. You see what it is. All right, so let's go to our next. So here we go. Student loans, cancellations, updates. Borrowers get new chance to apply. All right. What is going on in my head when I'm thinking about this? I'm thinking about it's election year, so probably making a push to try to win over some voters. We'll see. The Biden administration has extended the deadline for student loan borrowers to apply for loan consolidation. With the rising cost of higher education, it is expensive. More students are turning to loans to finance their degrees. You have a whole lot of debt too. However, many students struggle to repay these loans after college, and you cannot, and they are not bankruptable. Like you have to pay it. You can't, even if you file bankruptcy, you still got that student loan like a pet, which has become a significant issue for Democrats. So far, President Joe Biden's administration has approved nearly 160 billion in student loan forgiveness for almost 4.6 million borrowers, according to the U.S. Department of Education. All right, Biden, I see you. I see you. Okay. Hey, but the question is, will you be one of them, or they are using these numbers and then you never be a part of those numbers, and then they're just accumulating interest on that debt? And hey, you're not gonna pay that back if it just keep growing like that, especially if it's six-figure numbers. Ooh, with that in type of interest, sheesh. Student loan borrowers can consolidate or combine one or more federal education loans into a new direct consolidation loan, which helps them gain access to federal forgiveness programs, among other benefits. Additionally, the deadline to apply was April the 30th. But now borrowers have until June the 30th to request a loan consolidation. You see the protesters cancel student loan debt. You see them cancel that debt. I hope they help. I hope they're able to cancel it for you. I'm not. I'm very pessimistic when it comes to this stuff. That's why we went ahead and just paid off our six-figure student loan debt. By consolidating their loans, borrowers can get a payment count adjustment, which gives them credit for past loan periods that previously wouldn't have counted towards loan forgiveness under income-driven repayments, IDR plans, or public service loan forgiveness. Direct loan or federal family education loan programs held by the DOE will see full and accurate count of their progress towards loan forgiveness in September 2024, according to a press release from DOE on Wednesday, Department of Education, by the way, if you wonder what DOE is. Because of this updated timeline, borrowers will, with non-federally held FFEL loans who apply to consolidate by June 30 can still benefit from the payment count adjustment the release said. All right. And then it goes into how do I apply for loan consolidation and all that. So you can go to this Newsweek article. It'll tell you. You could probably Google it as well. If you decide to apply, go online, studentaid.gov, loan consolidation. There you go. Yeah. My thing is, hey man, let's get that student loan debt paid off as soon as possible. And to get that debt up out your life. That debt ain't no good for you. Got to get that up out your life. All right. So there's just a little quick hit that I wanted to share with you on what's going on, keeping you updated with the student loans. Next, we're gonna pivot a little bit. All right. So they say they, meaning Market Watch, and then the article, they say dining out is for the wealthy. What? All right, let's see what they're talking about. High income people continue to dine out in restaurants while others are cutting back. Okay, they say they cutting back. That ain't in the budget. I respect it. What's for dinner? For an increasing number of Americans, especially households making less than 150,000 a year, the average, it's like 70, 80. So making less than 150 a year, the answer doesn't involve going into a restaurant. And when people do go out to eat, they are spending less money. Yeah. Battered by higher than normal food prices. Yeah, them prices are high. They need to cut it. Sheesh. Some consumers are pulling back on their spending and the restaurants are feeling the effects. Yeah, man, you raising those prices. People got a threshold. They like, man, I might as well just make me some groceries. And I might as well go get groceries so I can prepare a meal and I can have leftovers and get multiple meals out of that. And so the dollar can go further. Uh, The owner of pancake chain IHOP and restaurant chain Applebee's said in its earnings call on Wednesday that fewer consumers earning 50,000 a year and below visited its restaurants in the past quarter. Wow, that's okay. Even when they do, they are more aggressively managing the amount they spend. I'm wondering, you getting that? Are they getting that tip? Is that factored into the tip? Oh man, come on now. Don't do our waitresses like waiters and waitresses like that now. Now make sure they still getting that tip now. All right. Although some higher income guests have traded down to eat at the company's cheaper restaurants, behavioral changes are most pronounced among lower income consumers. He said the most impactful change in consumer behavior is clearly the 50,000 and below segment. Payton said on the call, Dime Brands Global did not immediately respond to the Market Watch request for comments. Yeah, they're gonna probably be a little slow on that because you're gonna have to answer more questions than that. Um, the owner of Olive Garden and the Capitol Grill said on a March earnings call that visits from diners earning more than 150 a year were higher during its last quarter than they were at the same time the previous year. Okay, year over year, I hear you. While visits from diners with an annual income below 75, there you go, declined at every brand. They like, that ain't in the budget. Hey, I respect that. Hey, I like that. I like that. Live below your means until you increase your means. The shift was most pronounced in Darden's fine dining segment. Yeah, ain't nobody doing that A5. Uh I ain't gonna say ain't nobody. I still like an A5 every once in a while. I ain't gonna lie to you. In fact, nationally, only diners from households earning over 200,000 a year spent money in restaurants more often in 2023 than they did in 2019. I mean, that makes sense though. Diners from families earning below 45,000 with kids pulled back. Yeah, hey, that daycare, man. Woo! You got multiple kids, plus that food. Oof, man, gotta figure stuff out. In 2024, inflation is the dominant narrative. He told Market Watch that's part of the reason lower income families with kids are trimming their spending the most. Yeah, yeah. When you need to feed a family of four, there's a little sticker shock at the end of the meal. Heck yeah, you can be able to spend $1.50 for kids. You're like, dang, what we get? Because you got to also think about the inflation; it's increasing, and so they passing that cost off to the diners, the folks that are eating. You and I. There are two main types of consumer spending at restaurants at the moment. He said one is looking for an experience. That's me. I always be looking for an experience for special occasion where they can share food and enjoy a good time with friends and family. The other is looking for convenience at a lower price point. Yeah. Diners are ordering fewer and smaller meals. Hey, that could be a good thing though. Getting a little shape too. That'd be cool. Menu prices are rising faster than grocery prices. Yeah, hit that grocery store up. Yeah, buddy. Prices for food away from home or restaurant food were up 4.2% in March, from the same month a year ago. Yeah, I'm seeing it too. I'm definitely noticing places that we go. I'm seeing it be more costly. Uh, because dining out is a splurge for many consumers. It's often the first thing to go. That's a fact. When people want to trim their budget. Although inflation has eased, 42% of Americans surveyed by the Bank of America, 88.18% Institute in November said they plan to pull back their spending on dining out in 2024. The average meal in fine dining is almost $50 per person, up from 41.18 in 2019. Okay. Yeah, that's just putting it in real numbers. That's roughly enough to cover one entree plus a 20% tip. Yep. 20% minimal. Don't be low balling, folks. But even eating at fast food restaurants, nah, we don't do fast food. The average price, the fast food restaurant increased to $5.93. Okay. All right. Yeah. So it just stuff is just going up, man. Darden restaurants, diners have been ordering fewer items in addition to their main entree compared to, oh yeah, you ain't getting no wings with that pizza. Cause with that pizza, not happening. And you're gonna think twice on getting some alcohol. Hey, this might be a good thing, we're able to cut out some of those habits that might not be beneficial to us. Huh. Imagine that. Inflation forcing us to make better choices that lead to us being more healthy. Hey, that's a different way to put a framing on it. Restaurant worker wages are rising, but diners are having a hard time swallowing that change. Yeah, it's talking about Cali with the 20 an hour minimum wage. All they're going to do is pass that cost off to the consumers. That's all they're doing. Just looking here, just seeing if there's anything else interesting to share uh with my community here. Uh yeah, so what we'll close here is one thing that what did they say? One thing that was great about cheap services is that even lower income people got to enjoy them. So they got to go to restaurants too. Yeah, yeah, definitely going to restaurants is an experience. I mean, you get to get out of the house, everybody's been working, maybe the kids going to school. I do remember growing up where we looked forward, we didn't go out a lot, but when we did, we enjoyed, we looked forward to it. It was definitely an experience. So, I do understand the aspect of like it being an experience where in an outing for the family is just, it's getting more costly to where it's gonna run into them pocket and as the old folks say, their pocketbook, it's gonna run it, you're gonna have to come out with some more money at the end, and it's gonna cost you more because of inflation. But I wanted to share that. They're saying dining out is starting to be more for the wealthy. So, hey, I don't know. Let's continue to level up. That way, we're on that wealthy side, and we have the option to go out or not. But I think it do still sometimes come to a point where stuff can be so expensive, so costly to where even you're like, I don't want to pay that. I'm gonna go get a fillet myself, and I'm gonna cook it, and I'm gonna create an experience at the house. So like figuring out like what that every family has that threshold of what that looks like. At least in my opinion, that's what I think about. All right, so I have one last article for you, and I'm going somewhere. So we talked about the layoff, Walmart and the layoffs. We talked about we just talked about let me see what we talked about. The Walmart cuts, layoffs, forced layoff, or whatever, opting in to lay off, however you want to frame it. They trying to get you up out of there because they know everybody not about to relocate. Student loan, we talked about the student loans. My only thing there is don't wait. Like, don't wait for the government to do anything. Start putting a plan together to execute and get that up out your life. Dining out, they saying it's more of a wealthy game, dining out now, eating out, fine dining, any, 150 or less, under 150,000, people ain't eating out as much. I can see that. Well, this one, the last thing I'm going to cover, which I was impressed by, and I'm going to tell you why. A millennial working two full-time jobs, sometimes only get 3 hours of sleep, but she's over halfway to saving 100,000. I think I like her. I think she need to get a little bit more sleep, but I like the mentality of the grind. Like she's grinding. So I love hearing that story. Uh, and so the way they start off, it's talking about a couple people because it's a millennial working two full-time job. So basically, uh, Lacerna, a 20-year-old part-time content creator near San Francisco, wants to save 100,000. Okay, I like that. To put down toward a down payment to buy a home. So she knows she got to put in that work to get that money up. She working two full-time jobs as a barista and then also as an overnight attendant. She making that. So she making that bread. Okay, she making some money. I respect it. Um, she began working two multiple jobs after immigrating to the U.S. from the Philippines in 2018. Oh, she's not even from the country. Okay, she grinding. However, it wasn't until 2021 that she took on the two 40-hour week gigs. Okay. Lacerna is one of the many people in the U.S. who voluntarily work more than one job. All right. Uh, she gonna end up having some great results too. She gonna be tired. She gonna be tired, not tired. She's gonna be tired, but she gonna get some results. In terms of her financial life, it'll eventually be worth it. I do think she need to get some sleep. Find some a little. It's no such thing as work life balance, but get a little bit more balance there on the sleep side. But hey, usually what ends up happening is people sleeping too much. To be honest with you, and not working hard enough. uh, or roughly 5 is so anyway, going back, the Bureau of Labor Statistics reported that 8.4 million Americans, or roughly 5.2% of US workforce, worked multiple jobs in April. Now the question is, what type of jobs? Cool. All right. So with this article, the reason I was impressed was it's a millennial working two full-time jobs, sometimes only get 3 hours of sleep. I love that. Not the not getting 3 hours, not only getting 3 hours of sleep, but just she's grinding to get what she wants. And so she's over halfway to saving $100,000. I love that. Most folks, when you look at the numbers, most people don't have $1,000 in their savings account. Sound like she at the 50K mark. So I love that for her. She's working two jobs. She's a content creator, uh, and she want to get a house. So that's why she's doing what she's doing. According to this article. Um, Migrated over from the Philippines 2018, started working two jobs in 2021. I respect the hustle grind. It's 2024. Hey, let's get it. All right. Motivations usually involve saving for retirement, dream vacations, and weight loss drugs, which is okay, interesting on the weight loss drug part. All right, let's maybe we can hire a coach, trainer. I don't know. Anyway, all right, cool. Keep it pushing. Working two jobs is no easy feat. That's a fact. Been there, done that before. But Lacerna said in an email she's more than halfway. All right, stay focused, stay locked in. I love that. Working over 80 hours a week isn't for the faint-hearted. Yeah, she probably grinding like that. You don't know if you're coming, you're going, but you getting it. You getting it. So she's working at a barista at a tech company. Now, interesting. So, all right, I'm gonna get there. But she's just breaking down her schedule and what she's doing, day in a life and TikTok, and sound accused of faking her schedule. That post, so like she going viral. People thought she was faking her post. Okay, interesting. All right, well they just showing some TikTok stuff. Skip all that. Um, working two jobs is allowing her to aggressively save money. Yeah, naturally. Yep, I remember when I did it before. You definitely get that money start coming in. You like, dang, I don't know. I done paid off the debt. We done did that. What I do next? But anyway, so it looked like it started trying to go non-responsive on me. Probably because they want me to open up some of their ads or something. Who knows? But anyway, but yeah, no, I think this is good enough for this article. But it looks like her ultimate, and she plans to quit one of her current jobs and study medical coding. I hope that's like software engineer coding, and you're just gonna be in the medical space and not medical billing. No knock there, but because where my head is thinking, because it says she doesn't plan on holding down a full-time, two full-time jobs forever. My biggest thing, I just like the mentality of her grinding and doing what she needs to do to get to her goal. I love that aspect, and that's the takeaway for me. Now, what I wanted to address on this was, okay, so between the two jobs, I think one was 20 some 22, the other was like 27. You put them both together, I'm still not sure that she was like at $100,000, right? So let me think about this. Let me see. I could tell you exactly where she was at. I mean, I'm just pulling out my calculator real quick. I ain't trying to like totally like disrespect her or nothing like that, but let's go 50 times. Maybe she was right at maybe give or take. She was right at 100,000, maybe give or take. Okay, because that was the other. That was I love the grind. Need to get more sleep. But where I was gonna go with it was I was gonna say maybe there's an opportunity to select to what is the end goal like, and if you are grinding like that, kudos to you. Want your situation to be better, but that's not sustainable long term. If you're piecemealing two, uh, not really careers, really just two jobs together, and there's not much upside in either of the two jobs unless you just love them. Okay, that's fine. That's another conversation. But what is your career like? What is your career where it will have that upside, and you can really get that into one position, and then if you end up doing some other type of hustle, you know, you can move the needle there, but maybe find one job where you can make that or put yourself in position where something that you're into. We have one resource here, Level Careers. If you go to the link, check in the description, check that out. Level Careers. I know that we know the CEO over there, talking the talk, walking the walk. Sales, cybersecurity, tech sales, cybersecurity. Then also we have course careers down there where there's an expansion of other careers as well, that can help you get to that six-figure mark, right? I know everyone doesn't make six figures, but how about you be one of the ones that do? So there's people that always want to argue about, hey, why aren't you making this video for someone that making a lower income? My thing is like, why aren't you asking the question of how can you make more income? I see where you can be where you are and then work on a plan moving forward. And so it's like there's space for both. Like it's not, and so that's just really where I'm coming from with that one. And so uh I wanted to share that overall. I wanted to share that to let you know about Level Careers. Use those codes in description, get a discount there. But yeah, we got to get a career going. I love the hustle, but you got to get a career going where you can make that type of money with one job. And then she's a content creator too, so she's doing her thing. And then if you want to do some other stuff, to continue to increase your income and not just solely depend on one stream of income. Respect, shout out to you on that as well. That's always encouraged and supported. So the biggest thing is whatever it takes, like we talked about last week, it don't matter where the income comes from, like whether it be from your job, whether it be from your side hustle, your extra job, your business, uh, content creation, whatever is going to generate the money, because at the end of the day, we want to focus on building our net worth. And so you got to get your income up so you can get past the phase of just doing just enough to take care of your bills so you can have some discretionary income to be able to, one, where you can have a fun money account where you can enjoy yourself a little bit too. Cause like, let's be clear, life, if you're healthy and all those things, right? Like life is gonna be long, right? So like you gotta be able to have things along the way that you can look forward to. And so you gotta milestone things out, attach a carrot to it, meaning just, positive reinforcement of like you reached a goal, you reached a certain milestone and goal. How are you going to celebrate that? But then also that is separate from a fun money budget, right? Like there could be some, like if you get your income up enough, it'll allow you to take the trips that you planned out and you save for, because now you have enough margin in your budget. You have enough margin to retire, enough margin to enjoy yourself, enough margin to give, enough margin to grow your net worth to that millionaire status, right? Six figure. First, we got to get five figures, then we get to the six figures, then we get to the seven figures. It's a process. And so we got to think long, it got to be long-term planning. So yes, I love the grind with from in the short term with two jobs, but let's eventually pivot and have a plan and get a career so we can continue to level up. Awesome. Well, didn't intend this to be very long, but I did wanted to come today in the KB Money show, episode 6 in the books. Make sure you check out some of our previous episodes. Make sure you check out some of our previous videos that we recorded. Uh, we show up every single week for you guys because we know that you don't have a lot of time throughout your week, which you're working to go and source some of these important things that are current events that's going on, whether it be pop culture. Sometimes we'll talk about some of those things, and just from a financial perspective. And we're always tied back from a financial perspective because you probably know some of these things are going on. And so that's why we're here. Thank you for tuning in. We really appreciate you all support. Until the next episode, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Peace.